Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a really fascinating journey, one that connects the deep, deep roots of ancient history straight to the foundations of modern computer science. We're looking at an ancient system of encoding that is literally going to change how you view ancient literature and mathematics. Let's dive in. So consider this. What if the concept of data encoding actually existed, say, 7,000 years ago? I know, we tend to think of coding as this purely modern byproduct of the digital age, right? But the source material we're exploring today completely flips that narrative on its head. It reveals that the ancients weren't just encoding data, they were doing it with a level of philosophical depth that our modern machines just don't possess. Section 1. Modern code versus ancient code. To really appreciate what the ancients were up to, we have to look at the systems we rely on every single day. Think about modern encoding. Binary, ASCII, hexadecimal. It's purely machine language. We use it to transmit ones and zeros via network packets, moving data across physical and application layers. And hey, it's incredibly efficient, but it is purely functional. Now, contrast this with the ancient Katpayadi system, dating back 5,000 to 7,000 years. Unlike modern code, its primary purpose was actually literary. It was designed to encode hidden meanings and specific numbers right behind the words of ancient texts. So it wasn't just transmitting raw data. It was transmitting these really profound layers of meaning.
Section 2. Decoding the Katpayadi system.
So you might be wondering, how exactly did they encode data without computers? Well, they used a completely brilliant cipher. Specific consonant sounds were assigned direct numerical values. For example, C, P, G, B, and L sounds map to low digits, while the J sound maps to the number 8. But here's the absolute kicker, the most critical rule of the Katpayadi system. Vowels are completely ignored. This is such an ingenious rule because it allowed ancient writers to craft beautiful, flowing poetry using vowels, while the consonants secretly carried all the mathematical data underneath. It's literally like a giant puzzle hidden in plain sight. Section 3. The Secret of 18. Okay, let's actually apply this cipher to one of the most famous epics in human history, the Mahabharata, which was originally called Jaya. Step 1, isolate the letters. If we look at the cipher, the consonant J equals 8, and the A is an ignored vowel. The next consonant, Y, actually equals 1 in the full system. Combine those and you get 81. Step 2, the system requires you to reverse the final consonant values. So when you process the word Jaya through the algorithm, the mathematical output is exactly 18. 18. Just hold on to this number for a second. Out of all the numbers that could have been encoded into the title of this massive, sprawling epic, it's 18. So why is this specific mathematical payload so mind-blowing? It's mind-blowing because the number 18 is the absolute structural foundation of the entire text and its philosophy. Think about it. There are exactly 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita. The Great War described in the Mahabharata fought for exactly 18 days. Furthermore, the text outlines 18 parvas, or stages, in human life. The ancients didn't just pick a title that sounded nice. They literally encoded the structural and thematic blueprint of the epic directly into the name Jaya, using this Katpayadi system. Section 4. The Duality of Jaya. Now, this system doesn't just stop at numbers. It builds from pure mathematics into deep, complex, philosophical payloads. Consider that word again, Jaya. Spiritually, it means victory. It represents the triumph of Dharma, righteous action, the ultimate goal of the Mahabharata itself. But if you reverse the word Jaya, you get Ayaja. And in this system, Ayaja symbolizes the exact opposite, non-sacrifice, or the reverse of victory. It perfectly captures the avoidance of Dharma, the inaction and hesitation that the warrior Arjuna felt right before the battle. It also represents the massive ego and resistance of his enemies, Duryodhana and the Kauravas. By simply reversing the encoded word, the ancients perfectly encapsulated the entire central conflict of the epic. Section 5. Wisdom beyond the data. This whole concept really forces us to step back and reevaluate what we think we know about ancient civilizations and their capacity for complex, multi-layered thought. As our source material points out, it's such a beautiful system which India had more than 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years back. It's a beautiful concept. And it truly is. I mean, millennia before we had silicon chips, application layers, or binary packets, this ancient civilization developed a functional encoding system that seamlessly blended mathematics, language, structural blueprints, and profound moral philosophy, all packed into a single spoken word. Which leads us to a final thought. If our highly advanced modern encoding only transmits cold machine logic, just ones and zeros meant for pure efficiency, what profound philosophical meaning are we leaving out of our data today? The Katpayadi system proves that data can actually carry a soul. As we continue to build our digital future, perhaps there's a really valuable lesson to be learned from a 7,000-year-old code. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this changes how you look at both ancient history and the data flowing all around us.